Hey guys and girls, it's Blackjack with 396 Guitars. We have an SG Epiphone on the bench today. My good friend and good customer is here with me. We're going to check it out together. He just bought it, so we're going to run through it and do the setup on it. So let's get to work. I'm trying a different camera angle today. I don't know if I'm going to like it or not, but we're going to try it. Because every time I bend down, my head is in the way. So camera is up here, and every time I go to adjust something, bing, bang, boom. It's always my fat head that's in the way. So we're going to try it and see what it looks like. So as usual, we're not changing the strings on this guitar as usual. We're going to take measurements and see where we are to know where we have to go. Again, it's a new guitar. And playing with camera angle here. It's a new guitar, or used, and he brought it to me and the output jack was not working right away. So we fixed that. It was easy, and I'm guessing that that's probably why the previous owner traded it in. Somebody couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. The neck is way too straight. Way too straight. It's actually in a back bow. So now we're getting in there. So before we do anything else, we have to set the neck relief because that will affect string height and intonation and all kinds of things. Not a big deal. I like the color on it. I like that. I don't know what they call that, gray burst or green burst.
So this is an SG Modern.
Doesn't say anything on the truss rod cover. Let's take a look in there. I'm sure that's a 4mm. I'm going to almost guarantee it's a 4mm. And probably another reason the previous owner traded it in, because the neck is so straight that it's probably unplayable. I'm sure there's string buzz. I am sure of it. So the rule always applies the same. As you're looking at the truss rod adjustment, right is tight, which will give you back bow or straightness, and left is loose, which will give you banana or relief. And I'm pretty certain this one's going to have a two-way truss rod, and I think we're going to have to engage it. Because right now it's loose, and it just came straight. So we're going to actually force a little bit of banana in it, which is neck relief. And I'm going to guess that will be better. A little bit more. Come out of there. Two-way truss rods, the best thing since sliced bread.
What are they?
Well, old guitars only have a one-way truss rod. You can only tighten it and make the neck go straighter. So to put relief, you have to loosen it and let the wood relax. Where if you don't have it, and sometimes you get all the way to the end of the loose to the left, and it stops, and you still don't have enough relief. So they came up. There's actually two rods in here, so you can go one way or the other. You can force it into a banana or force it into a straight condition. And
that's what more recent guitars?
Most modern guitars, not all, but most modern guitars have it now. And I think it was the Asian manufacturers that came up with it. It's still really straight. Well, slightly better. Must have been buzzing all over the place. Come on, you. Okay, there we go. I bet that's going to give us some kind of better relief. Perfecto. Just kissing 12 thousandths. And when you sight down the neck, it's almost imperceptible, the bend in the neck. And that's the way it should be. You're measuring 12 thousandths of an inch on a feeler gauge, so there's not a lot to it. Now that we've got that settled, pretty confident we can put this back. And then we can go to string height and intonation. You had it tuned up, Rick?
Yeah.
Before you came.
Lots of buzzing.
So I'll bet there was. Yeah, there's no way there couldn't be. I'm surprised that you took the leap of faith to buy it with them. Probably the way it was buzzing. But we're going to make it a nice guitar. This will be a good player. I always liked SGs because they're thinner than Gibsons and a little bit lighter. Not that I play a lot of guitar. I'm a bass player. Everything is flat because we put neck relief in it. Let's get it tuned up. And I want to check the string height. Get your neck tension on it. Beautiful. Let's see what we got here. Probably going to be too high now that we put all that neck relief in there. So what I'm going to guess. Yeah, it's too high. Let's see. How are we looking now in the video? Oh, that's better. I like that. Okay, so the treble side is too low and the bass side is too high.
Wow, that's a mess.
That's
I mean,
partly because we put neck relief in.
No, but I mean, like, even getting it like to begin with. That's what you got to have them set up.
Yeah,
expert look at it.
Every guitar needs to be set up. You can't fake it. Get that turn and a half. I'm going to pull this one up. Half a turn. Too much coffee this morning. My hand is shaking.
Now you should play a little bit below standard. This one, because it's 24 fret. So I use a lot for practicing scales.
So you want it a little lower on the lower side action?
Yeah.
We can do it. So we're just over 4/64ths on the bass side and right just kissing 4/64ths on the treble side. So that's about as low as I would go on a Gibson style tunematic. I should have made it sharp. Actually, it went way flat. What am I talking about? I put it up, yeah. B and E didn't change much because we brought them up. Always the G. Rotten kid in class. Perfect.
That's the part I don't understand. How do you check for intonation?
Okay, intonation is the distance between your point here where the string rides over the nut and where the point where it rides over the saddle.
Right.
So if it's sharp, that distance is too short. If it's flat, that distance is too long. So you will adjust with these screws here.
So that would affect the consistency in tuning.
Well, what it'll affect is you'll tune it all up to pitch, and you'll be playing up here, and it'll seem okay. But when you get higher up, it'll start to get sharper and sharper and sharper,
okay.
or flatter and flatter and flatter, depending on which direction it's off. And I only ever check at the 12th. I mean, some guys will argue, oh no, 12th and 17th, 5th, 12th and 17th. Well, you guys can argue that until the cows come home. I defy any ear to be able to pick it up, the difference between the 12th and the 7th. I've been doing it for too long. That one's sharp. The G, of course. So I'm going to pull these are sharp. The G, B, and high E. Slightly. So we need to move those saddles back farther. And we're going to need to loosen off the tension on those 3 strings. I'm going to give them all a couple of turns. Pull them back. They're sharp. The distance is too close together from here to here. Monotonous, but necessary.
Being here, you can really hear the nuance and the difference between the tone. I don't know if it catches in the video.
Sometimes it does. Now that I moved the camera over there, I don't know. This is an experiment, so I don't know what the mic will pick up. It's better. That one's dead on. Dead on. It's the G is still not wanting to cooperate. It's much better, but I want it to be a little better, even still. That should do it. I like that. It's only about 1/8 of a cent off, but your ear can't catch it. These will continue to settle. Now, one last thing. These are all good. Make sure that your strings, that's your stop bar height, that the strings as they ride over the saddles are not touching the back of the bridge. That will cause all kinds of staying in tune issues and breaking strings for no reason. One more time with the string height, just to make sure that nothing has changed. Like that. One last time with this. I like that. It's just kissing 12 thousandths at the 7th fret, which is where you want to be. I keep up next like that. Last thing I like to check. Did you do this at the store?
No.
When you bought it?
No.
Always do this when you're checking out a new guitar that you want to buy. You know what we're looking for.
5 frets.
High frets. And buzzing. Buzzing does not necessarily mean a high fret, but it can. Buzzing in your case was just the neck was way too straight. This guitar, in my opinion, was unplayable. Okay, that guitar is set up, folks. I'm going to take a moment to wipe it down and clean it up before I give it back to my guest. And he's going to play it, and we're going to do that off camera. Can't get my camera adjusted. I'm going to do that off camera, but we're going to call that a win on this one. It was just a simple setup on a guitar that was just purchased. So we're going to give it back to my guest. He's going to play it. We're going to wipe it down, clean it up, and go from there. The last thing I want to check, which I forgot, and I shouldn't because my mantra, most guys do not check this routinely enough, and wow, are they close. Holy smokes. That one's not bad.
Oh, the pickups.
Pickup height.
Yeah.
That one was a little far away, but boy, are these are choking it. Way too close. And that, you just tap the last fret and measure at the pole piece, get a good idea. You want to be at an 1/8 or 3/32. 1/8 on the bass side and 3/32 on the treble side. This can affect the sound and tone of your guitar and volume output. If they're too close, you're going to choke the magnetic field in the string. If they're too far away, they won't pick up. These are too far away. Don't seem like they're adjusting very well. There we go. Much better. That one still wants to come up. I like that. Okay, now we're done. Blackjack with 396 guitars. We worked on an Epiphone SG today. We did a setup. Guy just bought it. It is used when he got it, but he bought it from a large flagship guitar box store. Guitar is in excellent condition. I like the color. It responded well to adjustment. We're going to play it now and clean it up. We'll talk soon. If you dig what I'm doing, like and subscribe.